Super Bowl weekend is here. Happy Friday to all the villagers out there. This is Village Vice. I'm Zach Blackerby. He is Brad Law. And really this weekend should be all about Prince Tega Wanogho, who is going for his second Super Bowl championship. And Brad, I think it's just amazing. He's the only Auburn Tiger in the game. Yep. It's just amazing because he was meh at Auburn, but he's going to be one of the few Auburn Tigers with multiple Super Bowl rings if they pull it off this weekend.
Yeah, no, okay. So we're just going to derail it right away. You're just so casual. No, Prince Tega wasn't meh. He wasn't an average player at Auburn. He's not playing very much with the Chiefs. Their tackles are good, clearly, but he's an NFL tackle. He was a good player at Auburn.
I think he was fine. I think he was fine. I also think that was a position where Gus Malzahn and his staff had a hard time recruiting, and so they had to kind of go the potential route, and Prince Tega was the benefactor of that, but I don't think anybody's going to say Prince Tega is great.
Okay. All right. Hang on now. What are the two or three most important positions on a team?
Quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, and now receiver. Right.
Sure. So as you list those, I would assume everybody would put left tackle in the top three most important positions.
Sure.
Okay. Prince Tega started 32 games. He was a first-team all-conference pick by, I think, Pro Football Focus and others after the 2018 season. First-team all-conference selection, 32 starts. When you look back at that 2017 offense, very early in his college career, and he anchored that offensive line. He was a part – look, that offensive line was good. That offensive line also had Braden Smith, and some other really good dudes. But Prince Tega was a big part of that. Started the year as a starter on that offensive line. The 2019 team, right, his last year, the running backs averaged over 5 yards per carry. That running game was fine in 2019 with a true freshman quarterback. So I don't know, man. I think he was better than just fine. I think Prince Tega, you could make the case, and maybe what we're
What are you about to do? Make the case for what?
I think you could make the case that Prince Tega is one of the top 3 to 5 players of the Gus Malzahn era at Auburn. And he's about to get his second Super Bowl ring to add to his collection for a guy who wasn't playing football 10 years ago.
All right, let's be conservative with this.
Okay.
Can we come up with 5 players of the Gus Malzahn era that are better than Prince Tega Wanogho?
Well, and let me be clear. I'm not trying to disparage any other player. I'm not trying to bury any other player, including Prince Tega. I think you can make the case he's one of the top 3 to 5. I think in such a subjective list, and let's hear your comments or read your comments too on this. We want to know what you think. I think we could all as close to objectively as we could be, say Derek Brown would be number 1.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Fine. Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Can you argue Prince Tega was a better player during the Gus Malzahn era than Nick Marshall?
Boy, that's an interesting argument because the positions are so very different.
What?
Nick touches the ball every play. I said 3 to 5. I'm not saying he's better.
No, that's fine. Which ones do you want to argue? Let's go with the one. If you don't want to argue Nick against Nick, that's fine. That's I wouldn't. I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
So is Nick's better than Prince Tega during the Gus Malzahn era?
Yeah.
Right? We're in agreement there.
I'll give
Braden
you that.
Smith?
I would say Braden Smith, yes, as well. So I'll give you that's 3.
We're at 3. D Ford?
I don't know.
Carlton Davis? Jamel Dean?
I don't know. Those are all great picks, by the way. And again, that's not to bury those guys.
Kerryon Johnson? Jarrett Stidham?
They're in the discussion. But those aren't guys that I automatically surrender the conversation to.
Jeff Holland?
Not a guy I automatically surrender the conversation to.
Carl Lawson? Mon Adams?
Again, all these are in the same category. These are very, very good players. And I think you can have the discussion. But I think the importance of the left tackle position, the number of starts, and his effectiveness at those starts, I don't think you overlook that. And I don't think, you got a Western Division championship team.
Mm-hmm.
You got a team that was right there against a brutal schedule for another one. Now, they didn't ultimately win it. So they're like, you don't win what you don't win. Your record is what it is. But to have the career that he had, he was so much better than just an average player.
Let's keep going. Trey Mason, Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, Kerryon, you can make the case for Kerryon, I think.
Or the Trey Mason?
I mean, he was in Gus's offense 1 year.
Good point. That's fair.
And it was a dynamic year.
Well, that case,
obviously.
If we're talking about that year and left tackle, Greg Robinson.
Maybe. Here's what gives me pause on Greg Robinson. He didn't have the kind of pro career that everybody assumed he was going to have when he was picked second. Sure. For whatever reason. Look, he was a dominant collegiate offensive lineman. And Auburn doesn't have 2013 without him. But for me, there's a little bit of something holding me back because the fact that he didn't have the NFL career that everybody expected became, I would argue, the single biggest anti-Auburn recruiting pitch that opposing coaches made during Gus Malzahn's tenure. And it was one of the big reasons why his offensive line recruiting wasn't enough to win the SEC consistently.
Okay. Interesting take. I do not disagree with it. Yeah, I think that's interesting. All right, so give me your top 5 players of the Gus Malzahn era and where Prince Tega Wanogho is in with your top 5.
Look, I asked a couple of friends this today, and here's what I got. I got a Daniel Carlson response.
I thought about Daniel Carlson too, but I wasn't positive if that went into the Brian Harsin era or not. I couldn't remember.
No, Daniel was all Gus.
Got it.
Start to finish, Gus Malzahn. Arguably,
then he has to be top 5. He has
arguably saved Gus Malzahn's job in 2016 single-leggedly.
Nice.
In the
potentially
LSU.
true. Potentially true. Sure.
Like, does Gus Malzahn have the extra years that he has, if not for Daniel Carlson in 2016 against LSU?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that's fine. I just think, and he's continuing to do it in the NFL. He's one of the most reliable kickers in the NFL.
So if you're telling me Prince Tega Wanogho is a top 3 to 5 player in the Gus era, I need your top 3 to 5 players. I just need to hear it. And then we'll move on.
You need mine. Okay.
You're the one who made the argument or said that you could make the argument. So I want to hear it.
Yeah, I think I think Derek Brown 1.
Okay.
I think Braden Smith 2.
Okay.
I will go Nick Marshall 3.
That almost feels disrespectful, but that's fine. I get it.
You'd put him high. You'd put him at 2.
I think so.
Okay. Over Braden Smith.
Just because he took Auburn to a natty. That's so hard.
Yeah. I get it. And look, beyond that, you get into a discussion of guys who you can make the argument for sure. And I want to read the comments to tell me how terribly off base this is.
Yeah, y'all don't hold back when I have a bad take. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm thinking of who I would absolutely put it for over Prince Tega.
Okay, so you've got Derek Brown, Braden Smith,
and Nick.
Okay.
Here's another guy we haven't talked about yet. Ryan Davis became the leading receiver in Auburn football history. Didn't do anything in the NFL, but became the leading receiver in terms of receptions in Auburn football history. Is he in the conversation for top 5 under Gus Malzahn?
No.
Okay. And I understand why. And I wouldn't push hard otherwise. If you want to give me a Kerryon Johnson at 4 and a Prince Tega at 5, I'm okay with that.
So you have Tega above Carl Lawson and Mon Adams and all of the corners that he brought in.
I would, because I think the position of offensive tackle, specifically left tackle, is that important, and he was that consistent for a 3-year stretch.
All
So
right.
I put him there. Now, if you want to argue against him because he should have been a top 10 overall pick and he had the raw athleticism to do more, and you say that he didn't maximize his potential at Auburn, I don't have a hefty argument against that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at that position, and for it to translate now, he hasn't had a shot in the NFL yet. Here you go. There you go.
Let's go.
He's on a team that has a good offensive line, and he's playing behind a guy who just, is better. But he's in the NFL. He's still on the team. They think he's got something.
Yeah, and he may have 2 rings by the end of the weekend.
That's right.
We'll see. Yes, please drop your top 5 players of the Gus Malzahn era in the comments below. Can't wait. Can't wait. You know the best way to watch the Super Bowl, Brad? The big game? It's by getting involved with our friends at mybookie.ag. There is no question about it. Our friends at mybookie.ag, they want to make sure you are set up and ready to go for the big game. So go over to mybookie.ag. You can do it on your computer. It's even easier on your phone. They've got a great mobile-friendly website. mybookie.ag. Use promo code NEXTROUND when you make your first deposit. They will give you extra bonus cash to wager on the big game. So once again, mybookie.ag. Use promo code NEXTROUND. All right. Are we doing a 6-pack today, Brad?
Yeah, but it's going to be a 6-pack of Super Bowl props.
Okay. Do you want to do that now since we're okay, following you.
All right. So our Village Vice 6-pack today is Super Bowl prop bets.
Got it.
And the first one I'm going to throw out there is, will there be a score in the game in the first 6 minutes and 59 seconds?
Yes. I'm saying yes to that.
You're going
to score or touchdown?
Any score.
Absolutely. I'm taking that. Yes.
You think so? I think the offense is a little rusty. Not rusty, but I think it takes a little while to settle in offensively.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go vehemently no, and I can't believe you would have the take. Yes. You're out of your mind.
2 really good offenses, Brad.
I understand. But defenses ain't bad. It's not like these are bad defenses.
Sure. You're right.
Okay. Let's go next with the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer. Will it be odd or even?
Odd.
Odd? All right. Who do you think that will be?
Well, I'm just thinking a Mahomes run, a Purdy run, a Kelsey run, or catch, an Ayuk catch. I'm just thinking of what number does McCaffrey wear?
23. I just looked that up because I was thinking he was going to save the evens.
Yeah. So all of the skill players that are kind of popping into my head are odd numbered jerseys. So I'm going odd.
All right. I'm good with that as well. Length of the longest touchdown in the game in yards. Length of the longest touchdown in yards, 44.5.
Wow. That's a long score. I'll take the under on that.
Okay. I'm going to go over. I think you'll have a play I think there'll be one big play.
A moment. Sure.
Yeah. I think there'll be a moment. And if you have a special teams play, you could have a special teams play that is
good point.
Kind of a big swing too. Defense or special teams.
Sure. Right.
All right. Total turnovers in the game, 2.5, over or under?
I think that's what the line should be because I was thinking okay, what's it going to be? I was thinking 2.5 in my head when you're reading that. I'll go under. I think I just trust both of these quarterbacks in both of these systems. So I'll go under.
All right. I kind of do too. Here's a fun one. Gatorade bath color.
Will it be one of the best ones?
Huh?
This is always one of the best props for sure.
Yeah. Gatorade bath color. Water clear orange or any other color.
Orange is the most likely, according to Vegas, right?
Right.
And clear is the least likely.
Well, yeah, maybe so. But I guess if it's water instead of actual Gatorade, but those are in one category. So water / clear / orange.
Oh,
that's one choice.
Got it. Okay.
Or any other choice.
Anything else? I think I'll go with the grouping. I'll go with because orange seems to be the most likely thought.
You are not on your game today. Once again, such a poor take. I will go other. It'll either be red or blue.
Okay.
That's what I think. So I'm gonna pick the other category. Come on, get it together, Zach. Come on.
I'm still shook from the Prince Tega thing.
Clearly. Okay. Position of the Super Bowl MVP. Will it be quarterback or any other position? Quarterback versus the field. So Purdy or Mahomes or anybody else.
Or Christian McCaffrey. I think it's going to be a quarterback because if it's the Chiefs, they want to give it to Mahomes. If it's the Niners, they may want to give it to McCaffrey, but I don't think the Niners are going to win. So I'll take quarterback.
All right. I think we've done 6, but I want to ask this question anyway. Travis Kelce receiving yards, 87.5. Over under. I went with his jersey number just for fun.
Oh, okay. Got it.
What do you have? What did he have in the championship game?
I feel like he had more than that.
Yeah, he went over $1, I think, in that game.
I think so. I think he scored 2 touchdowns
in
that too.
He was unstoppable.
Yeah. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over that.
Okay. I think I'm going to go under. I think there'll be more of a – I think everybody's woken up to him now. And
yeah, I mean, you could have said that going into the championship game too. But
yeah,
I'm with you. I mean, just depends on what the Niners game plan is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ultimately, who wins the game, Zach? San Francisco is a 2-point favorite, according to our friends at mybookie.ag.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it the last few weeks when we've done these playoff picks, and I'm not picking against Kansas City right now. I'm just not going to do it.
Nope, I tend to agree. Taylor's boyfriend and the rest of their team wins the game, and it's a big, big celebration. Over under on screen time for Taylor Swift in the game. Let me set it at 1 minute 10 seconds.
That's a long time.
It is. It's much longer than what it's been on average for these games.
Is this for the entire broadcast, or is that just until the end of the game?
That's a great question because it impacts it tremendously. Because if the Chiefs win, there will be a ton of
they're going to find her
celebration.
100%. Yeah, keeping on her as she finds Travis and all that. So
let me say this: within 7 minutes of the end of the game. So I'm going to give you, because if I set that number at 1 minute 10 and it's just kickoff to final whistle,
it's an easy under. Right.
Yeah. But if I include the first, let's say 10 minutes after the game is over.
I'll take the over for that.
You'll take the over? All right.
I think I would.
I think I'm going to take the under. I think I'm going to take the under
still. A long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time, but I'm really just banking on it staying on her if they win. I think they win. So that's my thought.
All right. There you go. Those are the last props that I have. Those are all the props.
Let's talk a little Auburn basketball.
Okay. Before we do that, though, I want to talk about our friends at Manscaped.
Please.
Promo code VICE at manscaped.com. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, this is the time to do it. You get 20% off and free shipping. You got to make sure you use the promo code VICE, though. And again, I'm talking about Manscaped's Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It's not easy to say, but wow, it's easy to use. It gives you this kit it's a bunch of stuff in one bag, right? It starts with the Beard Hedger Pro. The Beard Hedger is a cordless trimmer with one guard with 20 different lengths. So no more messy drawers full of guards. And do I have the right one? And I got to check. No, it's one guard with 20 lengths. On top of that, it's water resistant. It runs, you just run it under the sink, shave in the shower, easy cleanup, no mess, no hassle. So look, move the sticks from your old beard razor. All right. Look and feel ready for the big game every day. You can make every day a super Sunday with Manscaped's beard formulations, including the beard balm, beard oil, shampoo, and conditioner, plus a beard accessory pack. Did you know you needed a beard accessory pack?
Yes.
Got a beard brush, beard comb, beard scissors. Those for the finishing touches every modern bearded gentleman deserves.
Wow.
Get it today at manscaped.com and make sure you use the promo code VICE for free shipping and 20% off.
Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic. Auburn basketball trying to do something they haven't done in a very long time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Brad. That's winning Gainesville.
Win in Gainesville, yes. The last time Auburn won in Gainesville, Bill Clinton was the president.
Wow.
I did not foul him in the lane. Not what?
Just keep going.
Not my best. You don't think Bill Clinton would use Manscaped if he were president today?
Say something else as Bill Clinton. Can you do the rest of the show like talking like you're Bill Clinton?
I don't think so. No, that's such a bad impression. It's like an impression of somebody else's impression of
Got
Bill
it. Sure.
Tough to do. Like a lot of the analytics have this as the lowest percentage chance of a win for Auburn the rest of the year, even less than the Knoxville trip in a couple of weeks.
Is that right?
Yes.
What is it about going to Gainesville, man? It's weird.
Like this year's team is interesting. They're all not all that dissimilar to Alabama in that they're guard heavy, and they like to play up tempo. Todd Golden, one of the hottest up and coming coaches in the game, big on analytics, and analytics are. We can hate them or like them. You can have whatever you're feeling you want, but the reason they have become such a big part of sports is because they work. They're tested, they're proven most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time. So you can argue he's maximizing the talent that he's getting out of his team. I don't know if it's good or bad for Auburn that they lost their last game against Texas A&M, because before that they had won 4 straight and they were averaging almost 90 points a game in that stretch. I know they were off in the midweek, and I know they haven't had a home game in 2 weeks. So with Auburn going in there won't be a rowdy-er crowd in Gainesville this year than what we see Saturday.
And those off games, like sometimes I feel like that can help and sometimes it can hurt. Like, did they use it and get rested and they're fresh, or are they out of sync now? And we won't know until a few minutes into the game kind of how Florida responds to that. But this is going to be a tough one. Florida is a better offensive team than we all thought that they would be going into conference play. So props to everything that they've done with the with what the Gators are doing. So I think Auburn wins, though, Brad. I think Auburn wins. I think I think they win out until they go to Tennessee. And I think if they do that, that's enough for them to win the SEC when it's all said and done.
I think so, too, if they can pull that off. This is the toughest 5-game stretch, I think, of the entire schedule.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And maybe it started against Alabama, or maybe it starts Saturday. But these 5 are – boy, they're tough. But again, if you want to be at the very top of the conference,
you got to win tomorrow.
This is the kind of schedule. This is the kind of game. Yeah. So Janai Broome, X factor again, as he is so many times, but with such a guard heavy lineup, I think Auburn can have a size advantage again. And, can Janai, with like where he's from is like an hour away, I think, from Gainesville.
So that stuff matters, man. That stuff matters. Yeah.
Yes, it does. So can he not press too much early and play within himself? Because, man, within himself is plenty to get the job done.
Yeah. And we saw this team not press in a very emotional and exciting situation against Alabama in the midweek. I was concerned they were going to come out too hot and too juiced. They did not. They were very controlled and very effective. And to me, I think that's going to be enough. I do think there is some concern regarding, like, was Wednesday an emotional high? You're going to have to come off of that a little bit. That I think that could be a concern. But once again, similar to Florida coming off of, a few days off, we'll know how they respond pretty quickly, I think.
And I do like, and we liked this at the beginning of the year, the number of veterans on this team that have gone through February in an SEC title chase before.
Good point.
They help the guys understand it's not even about, it's a little bit about Thursday, but it's much more about today. Can you lock in today? Today's your travel day. Friday's your travel day. You're going to watch film. You're going to walk through. You're going to practice. That's where you can win or lose the game, is did I turn my mind where it needed to be in time?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just I don't think that's loft. I think that's real. And so, how quickly can they do that to prepare for this very difficult game on the road?
Yep. Happy Prince Tega weekend to all who celebrate. And Brad, I think that about does it for today's show.
It does. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Enjoy the super weekend. And remember, everyone has vices. make sure Village Vice is one of yours.